Madam Speaker, my question is for the Minister of Housing. Earlier this summer, the first eviction notices were distributed to tenants of Ocean Breeze, a traditionally affordable housing complex in Dartmouth North that is home to over 1,000 residents. You would think that the sale of such a significant piece of real estate would be of interest to a government that wants to protect affordable housing, but FOIPOP shows no records of correspondence between the department and the new owner, and I can table that. In the midst of an affordable housing crisis, Madam Speaker, how is it possible that the minister didn't even reach out to the new developer to make sure that Ocean Breeze residents don't become homeless during this redevelopment?
Minister for Municipal Affairs and Housing.
So, Madam Speaker, I will say to the member that we have a public-facing part of our department, and our senior staff interact with many different entities, not only developers but not-for-profits, community housing groups, many different groups. But the way this works is they approach us. So if we didn't interact with them, they didn't approach us. That's the reality. So we don't go out and approach groups. They come in, they approach us. That's how we do it, and we react to that, and they come to us looking for information on programs or whatever they look. So this is how this takes place, and if we have no record of having communication with them, they didn't ask for communication, and all of our information is readily available online and how to connect with us.
Member for Dartmouth North on their final supplement.
With all due respect, Madam Speaker, a government that is all about action on housing seems to have a strange way of approaching that action when they're waiting for people to come to us, sitting back and waiting. Madam Speaker, the developer has been clear that it is open to working with this government to try to maintain affordable housing at Ocean Breeze. After the government didn't act on an opportunity to purchase the site, we were hopeful that the government would step in to make sure that the housing remains affordable. But FOIPOP documents also show that no funding agreements between the government and the new owners of Ocean Breeze exist. Madam Speaker, excuse me, will the minister make a clear commitment that there will be no net loss of affordable housing due to the redevelopment of Ocean Breeze?
Minister for Municipal Affairs and Housing.
So again, I will say, Madam Speaker, that this is a private development, and we will interact if we are asked to interact. I can tell you that we are spending an unprecedented amount of money to preserve affordable housing, and one of the examples I will give you is the CHAP program, which has gotten national recognition, where we have a community housing acquisition program to enable not-for-profits to purchase, and that has preserved and saved hundreds and hundreds of units. So we continue to work in this space. We put almost $300 million into housing this year. We will continue to do that. We will continue to build up community housing and not-for-profit housing, which is something that the Affordable Housing Commission report identified as very weak in Nova Scotia. And as I've said, we're continuing to do an unprecedented step, a historic step of building public housing units in Nova Scotia.